Okay, I'm recording.
Well, okay.
So,
Takes 2 hours to get down. The cows knew the way all the way down. We didn't do anything. We just followed the cows. I mean,
Did you look forward to going year after year, Mark? Or
yeah, I mean, once you and I got to know them, and they were so wonderful, and it was I loved it. I really did.
Imagine what would have happened to you if you hadn't. You know?
That is true.
You would have been very nerdy and, you know, and yeah, very different person,
I remember
much less on religion.
Didn't you ever say,
didn't
didn't you ever say, you know, I've got a social life, I don't really want to spend my summers. Or you just said, okay, that's, you just took it and that's what you're
I
going to do.
didn't really think about it. But did it.
So when you
The 2 winters I was there, I mean, winters wasn't that much to do as the farm boy because you had to milk the cows and do the chickens, but you didn't have to do any work in the fields or anything.
okay.
And the children, where they lived, there was this path that came behind the barn from up the hill, and the children or someone in that year decided to make it into like you know, where you take a sled,
run.
get on a sled, and you make a, I don't know what you would call it, run. That's right. So someone made this run up there, and so then they said, well, you know, why don't we take the kids up? So I had some local kids were there, and so we went with the kids, and so we went up, you know, as high as we could, and we get on the sled, and I got two kids in front of me from the local farm, and we get on the sled, and I've never really been on a sled before. I was born in Memphis. No, I didn't really. I mean, you know, I didn't really know what to do. So we go, and we hit a bump, and I fell off the back. And of course, the sled keeps going with the 2 kids on it. And to get to the barn, it had snowed about 6 or 7 feet, so they had cut a hole, I mean a slot, you know, so they can get into the barn down into the snow. And so I'm seeing the sled going, and 2 kids are sitting on it just having fun. And I'm seeing this sled hitting, you know, the end of that wall, and the kids going over, you know, like that. And I was just petrified.
So what happened?
Well, no, they sailed right across and kept going and landed in the snowbank, and they thought this was the greatest thing. They're going to do this again.
You said, not me.
So there are a lot of stories of learning how to live in a farm.
Yeah.
Do they just take the cows in the alpine, the high alpine? Once a season or a year or something?
Well, the cows, that's right. There were several Alps.
Yeah.
Layers, so to speak. And the highest ones were in the summer, and then it would work their way down. But Sen was one of the higher ones. And the cows would really be there quite only for maybe a month at most. Because it was just
The German word is Alm.
Yeah. Sounds like ouch.
And the percent actually was more for the grass than the cows, because you'd bring the hay down. The hay was brought down. I've never seen this literally because I was never around. But you put the hay is stored in the lion's edge, which is along the barn, upper barn, and they store it on a sled. And then in winter, so the hay is packed. That's what I had to do, is pack it and store it on the sled. And then in winter they open the door, and someone gets on the sled and basically sits on it and goes straight down the mountain into the valley. And you land between the cloisters and the boats. And so this is a frightening thing. And one of the families in cloisters whose son is a Swiss Alpine star, he does that every year. So and so he goes there. And you have to have enough speed so that when you get to the flat, you can turn it just enough, and you can wind up in cloisters where everybody's waiting for you and clogs. But if you get stuck in the flat, then you have to go and get the Jeep and pull you in great disgrace.
Yes, okay.
Well, you remember a lot than bailing out when you were in high school. You have a really good perspective.
But you went when you were in college, right?
Yeah, this was high school. You know, I was 12, 13. in high school. Then I did during college too.
Yeah.
And then I went to Switzerland to study.
Yeah.
And so then I just did it again there.
So where'd you study in Switzerland?
In Zurich at the ETH.
So you were
So I was
educated.
there for another 5 years, and so I just kept doing it because.
Well, you better just keep saying it there. So when did you have a wife, you met your wife?
Nancy,
No.
Here.
later,
Later.
here.
But how much later?
Oh, when I came back.
Okay, so here you are, you have this very unusual background, and you've got, it's multilingual, and was a farm boy during the summers, and now you're a professor. So you met this girl, and how did you hook up with her? Who is she?
Oh.
How did she appreciate all
That's
this?
another.
Well, did she
That's
appreciate
another
that and
story.
think, oh, that is really
Oh no, I think
unique and
she did.
wonderful?
She did.
Did she go back with you to visit ever?
She hasn't done that part of it yet.
Are you still married?
I went back to the Brosies with my older son. That was 2 years ago. So we went with Andreas.
Whose name is?
Andreas.
Andreas.
Named after Andreas.
After Andreas Brosi.
So did you think about sending Andreas or Elias there?
Well, we would, but the thing is, their farm no longer is the farm anymore. The husband he died of a heart attack. Andreas, and the old Brosi, I mean, he died some 20, 30 years ago. Then his son, who was 60 at the time, he died of a heart attack. And now it's the daughters run it basically, and it's it was a gigantic farm. I mean, for cloisters. I mean, they had 30 cows, which was the maximum amount. It was a lot of cows.
And do they
now
have to
basically
own the land that they feed on when they go up the Alps? Do they have to own that land? Or is that
I'm not
some
sure
common
actually
land?
how ownership works. I know they had areas that were just theirs. So in other words, were spots we were told this is where we can cut the grass and make hay out of it. But it wasn't that other place. But definitely the percent was theirs, and then various spots in and around their farm was theirs. You had to cut it, and then you had to turn it, and and then you had to wait a day for it to dry, and then you had to turn it the other way and wait for a day for it to dry and hope it doesn't rain.
So you know all this and you didn't use it in your career.
And you
It's
see,
a great trade.
there's one more reason to hypothesize that the Brosies supported the Hitzes, because they could afford it.
Yeah, roses were, very well off.
You have a whole generation of girls who don't work in the farms. It could be a dead end too. So you have important help.
One of them has got to marry a good farmer. That's the way it's
Yeah.
done.
That's right.
So
And they
back
were-
to your wife. Can we? What is your background that she's interested?
Uran for the Russians. It was occupied by the Russians after World War II, and many people were poisoned by lead, others by uranium radiation, most of them, but it was totally kept under the carpet. So nobody.
And they had, when you would see the tremors, they would be like,
There was a man which went through the streets and was considered like this.
Yeah, the shakes.
And people told me, oh yes, that's typical for this lead.
By the way, John Hitz II was sent to Saxony to learn the mining business, because they had Europe's premier mining school in Saxony.
Yes, it was Freiberg.
Like
There's a
that.
mountainous university. It's in Freiberg in Saxony, yes.
And John Hitz II was sent there.
Oh yeah, that's his second oldest in the world. The oldest is probably in St. Petersburg, but it may be that it was founded by German miners. And the next one is in Freiberg, that is near Dresden. And another one is in Austria. Leeuwen. Yes. meters below surface level for building tunnels for the metro and something like that. It's not to compare with people working 1,000 meters underneath the surface.
They're very nice.
Yeah,
Very well behaved.
thank you.
Because probably a lot of that is, what you're saying was underground.
Excuse me, I'm a little bit shy whether I offer a presentation I prepared for the Wolfenbürders and the Sagas, because it is only the Wagner's family and the Löwitz from Mannheim. I don't know whether it is worth showing this.
It is worth showing. It is worth showing.
I don't want to bother you. It's a meeting
It
of
is worth showing.
of
That's why
the
we're
Hans.
here. That's why we're here.
No, but the Conrads have
Can you turn the lights on?
Can anybody see whether it works? Oh,
I can't.
no, the other.
Check. I can get my computer, but they have most of keep it for a second. They have
Why is that? Because you thought, oh, that's
Normal. But too bad we can't go to work like that.
I'm sure in some
Oh,
ways
yeah.
they do.
Yeah, yeah,
With no heat, and they heat with just the.
Well, probably the heat's better now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it still exists, it's just that it's further out now,
Yeah.
you know, it's just less and less.
No cell phone.
I mean, can't you imagine sending your, mommy now?
Oh,
Susie, can't you imagine sending the boys there? Your sons? That would be amazing.
But now that
Tommy would love it.
the cutting of the grass now is done by a tractor up and down the hill instead of using the side. I mean, I know there's some places they still have to use the side because they can't get the tractor.
The old man didn't like the tractor because it didn't cut it close enough to the ground.
Yeah.
He used a lot of hay.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
We have a collection of signs in our barn, in our place of names, because that was very cool. And even just up 10 years ago, the guy who would mow, our caretaker would side. And I've taken that side and I've tried to do it, and it's a real
It's
art.
hard,
Yeah, no,
very
you
hard.
gotta know how to do it.
Yeah,
And then you gotta sharpen it, yeah. You
yeah,
gotta sharpen it.
yeah.
A disc, or what do you have?
No,
You have to sharpen it.
That's why you're such a gardener now.
We need to hire help, so come on.
Very good.
No, I usually a lawnmower.
Do it. Okay, go ahead.
as I told you, it's a standby presentation. I didn't know whether it fits in
Speak
the
up a little.
here in the evening or not.
Can you?
This is the
Oh,
Davos.
it's not an old couple, but we do remember
Our-
you.
our
Yes,
first
broken
meeting
Let him
with
talk,
Hitz
please.
in Davos, and you probably know these elderly.
Oh, yeah.
This is just a reminder. We started at the K5, that means the 5th generation, and Helga Vogt and me, we are now the 10th generation, and our children the 11th.
Wolfgang Eger.
This is a photograph which Helga has in its room.
Please, go ahead.
And we find it is very nice. It's the Hanna Löwit, near Hitz, and with his dog, and I think it's a wonderful photograph. And she lived in Mannheim, or I could say, she married Oskar Löwit and accompanied him to all his appointments, and that's the point where Mannheim came into place, because he worked 30 years in Mannheim up to his retirement. That's the young Löwit, and the elder one, I don't know when it was taken. This was a photograph taken in Prague, and he studied in what is called the Deutsche Technische Hochschule in Graz. I think he must have been an Austrian subject.
He was
You know, Prague was
Bohemian.
in medieval ages
No, I don't know.
a kingdom related to the Heilige Römische Reich Deutscher Nation, and it was later on Karl IV was the German emperor in Prague. Prague was a residence of German emperors, and in Prague there was a great part of people speaking German, and it was the elite, we could say, and certainly the Löwitz belonged to these people. In Mannheim, the Mannheimer thanks to Otto Löwitz that he was the constructor of the Mannheim Railway. He constructed before the railway in Basel, and the Mannheimer decided to have also a railway to replace the old horse-drawn railway by electrical railway. And they looked around where are experts that can help us realize this project. And so they came to Otto Löwitz. And you see him here, Mannheim has such pillars in this town in interesting places. And so one of these pillars stands on a place where was formerly a depot of the old tramway from Mannheim. And so it says here his 30 years was it under the direction of Otto Löwitz. Oh, that's a pity.
Backwards.
You must turn it twice on the right. That's the Löwitz grave.
Huh.
And here his workers decided him a stone that says that is for the erector of the Mannheim tramway.
Peter?
Another nice photograph we found in Helga's
Oh.
That's the. Oh,
Wait, go
sorry.
back. Wait, don't go so fast.
That's the Marie called Maitlein, and it's Helga's grandmother.
And that's
And that is Helene. What is her nickname is Puppy.
Poopy.
And this was the mother of the Löwitz.
Oh my God.
Dad?
Well, you probably will see your mother in an age of 1 year. Take the spectacles and look there.
Well, she always liked those sailor outfits.
That's your mother on the left hand.
Wolfensberger, and this is the Löwitz Hoffmann. Descent.
Okay.
The Maitlein married.
Well, let's go back to that one.
Go back? Yes.
Because some of those pictures last night were those, weren't they?
Yeah, that explains some of them.
You don't have this picture.
No,
Well,
never
we
saw it.
have pictures with those children and we didn't know who they were.
Yeah. That was that picture.
You don't have
With that
this?
girl
No.
left for
I've
sure.
never seen that picture.
Never seen it.
Poopy.
You don't. Oh, sorry.
That's one of the pictures you took to look at. In my bill.
Oh,
You
Peter,
don't-
go back to the
You
train.
don't
That's
recognize your mother here.
No.
No.
That's nice.
Go back to the train one so we can see that, Peter. For Opa. Go back one.
Why?
Back.
Okay. Next one.
Back.
Yes, forward.
Back.
That one.
Go back one more. I don't know that lower picture. Do you know it, Dad?
I know the one. I've never seen the upper one.
So handsome.
Yeah, grand eyes. What can I do?
It's a town in the park.
Oh, can you?
Mhm.
Is it just grand eyes?
I've never seen it.
This is gonna be a piece of shit.
That you see the energy in these faces. It's impressive.
Where they live their lives.
Okay. The Maitlein line now goes. So the Maitlein married Ernst Hoffmann,
That's
and he has
Schwab.
3 children. And one of the children, Hilde, is the mother of Helga.
And the
And
father.
Hilde
Yeah.
married Hans Vogt, it's a chemist and earned his PhD from Heidelberg University. So, and both born Helga and her brother.
You're going too
And
fast.
here
Yeah, you look just like her.
you see again the great grandmother Johanna Löwit, née Hitz, and her daughter Meitlein, and Meitleins daughter Hilde, and Hilde's daughter Helga. And you can compare, Helga is sitting there and Helga is sitting here. You probably see any relations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, definitely.
This was Helga.
I remember Helga then.
Yay! Look at the legs are 12 miles long.
I know.
I remember your hair like that. The first time I met you.
Tempi
was your hair
passati.
like that.
That's, she looked so when I met her. Okay.
Wait, I want
And
to know, had it,
that's me. I came, so to speak, from outside.
Why don't you let him talk?
Zurück.
That's what you study.
It's probably worth mentioning the red hairs. And
Religion?
She had kind of dark auburn hair, if I remember
Do you
correctly.
know what it is?
do you think that?
It says you study.
She grew up in Manhattan.
That's education,
Yeah.
science of education.
Oh.
Okay.
I was a teacher then, and
So, and that's me.
until
I grew up in Saxony, what was after the World War II occupied by the Russians, and I fled the Russian zone, the communist Eastern Germany, and went to West Germany. And as soon as I became a subject of Western Germany, I had to serve the army, and I decided to do it for 3 years. And I earned a lot of money and became an officer, and that allows me to study renewed in the western part of Europe. And because they didn't accept my Eastern education, I went to Graz in Austria, and then I finished in Munich.
So basically you got 2 degrees?
Yes, yes, or more than that.
Or more than that,
I was
yes.
an apprentice and a surveyor, draftsman. I was a topographer. I was an engineer in geodesy, and now an engineer in civil engineering.
what is that, Peter?
Study of.
What is
Pardon?
a geodesy? What is that?
Geodesic survey.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
That's-
What you're asking?
You asked a question, I gave you an answer.
yeah.
I don't know. It was so curious.
It's to measure the Earth.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a real family affair.
to measure the Earth, to
It's a
decide
family
whether
trait.
it is a disk or a sphere or ellipsoid, and to give a coordinate system so that you can say, I live here, these are the coordinates for me, and we live in Palatinate, and we have other coordinates, and we can calculate the direct direction and distance from us to you. This is geodesy.
Thank you.
Okay, we married. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a black-white photograph, so you can't see the red hairs here. Okay, and then we were very diligent in getting children to proceed in the what is called the Stammbaum. Yeah.
So where did you pull the name Wolfgang from?
Wolfgang, this is
Ah, yeah,
the eldest here. That is Wolfgang. That's the middle is Eva here. They still with a thumb or finger in her mouth. And the most energy is the youngest, is the Bibi, Brigitte, but we call her Bibi.
She stayed with us for a month or something like that,
And
years ago, and
I
we both
used-
came visit.
When they went to bed, they asked me to read fairy tales. And the first one who slept was me, and not the children. As usual.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit older.
The
Also
nose
three.
thing.
You see here the line
Oh, yeah.
demonstrates the different ages. Winter in our region, it has become more seldom that we have snow, but we had, and I could in our garden here, over a distance of 30 meters, I could ski in our garden. And this is our house in the winter, and this is Eva and Bibi enjoying the skeleton within the snow. In the Palatinate, we have each weekend there is a festival everywhere in the vineyards, in the wine growing villages, and the famous is the Wagner, and there are opportunities to shut. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Here, no. And if you hit a flower or a goal or what, photograph is taken. And the youngest was the old. Here she hides behind Eva. She doesn't trust the situation, but now she's encouraged here to follow her father.
That's a big rifle for her.
Yeah.
She looks good though.
Yeah.
Holidays, Switzerland, in Sweden, and in Italy, and everywhere where we. In most photographs, we have 30 albums of photographs. Always, people are always laughing. It's always a funny situation in the family. This is a typical Christmas in Germany, and you can guess how the Father Christmas here is.
I thought it was half.
And sometimes we use a railway model here to present the gifts to the person. In our living room, each person was situated in a separate corner, and the gifts were sent by railway.
Oh.
Appropriate to your family.
And they grow up, and this time we had a dog here called Gita. It was a Samoyed, that's a Siberian skeleton dog. And again, Wolfgang, the eldest, Eva, and Bibi.
Wow.
The old man, now he's
And
blind.
Old man.
she must not know that I present this picture because she is very angry about this hair.
It's a bad hair day.
Oh yeah.
Wolf has a question.
Back?
One more back.
Go back.
One more back.
I know where that railroad comes from.
See?
Hilda's father gave that to his children, but he wouldn't let them play with it.
Oh.
Only he was allowed to play with it.
Ah.
And we played accident.
Only he was allowed to
Well, this is a very modern railway with a very wide distance of the rails. It's another one. It's not.
Oh, it's not the
No.
Oh.
It's not the same. No.
Okay. This is Wolfgang during his studies in Tübingen. Somebody mentioned Tübingen today. I guess it was Henry. He was last year in Tübingen and missed to see us. It's about 120 kilometers from Wagner. Yeah, okay.
One here.
And this is Eva. Helga visiting Eva. Formerly I wrote Helga was looking after Eva, but she didn't like that. They don't like mothers looking after them. Mother can look for them if they have disappeared. Yeah, Bibi studied in Jena and Heidelberg, and here she got the certificate of her final exam and that the professor congratulates her.
She wasn't in the.
Oh, it's in
You
here.
know
Oh,
this
It's
picture?
in Haiti.
This is Haiti when she visited Mannheim, and
So good.
on Haiti,
It's in your.
her knee is
You
Hilde,
emailed it.
and Hilde's daughter Eva, and Hilde's granddaughter Eva, Helga and Eva. Yeah, Helga was a very engaged teacher, and because of that they decided to study again and to get an degree in educational science, and they has some hobbies, and one of this is stone. What it is? A weekend artist.
It's,
Dare I say that a weekend artist to make figures, artificial things. Okay.
Sculpturing,
stone
chiseling,
carving.
carving.
Carving stones, yes. That's, I think.
Sculpturing?
Yeah.
Wow.
You have a finished product?
Yes, that's again me.
Yeah.
Please don't overestimate what I said here about my hobbies. It's just because the text has to meet the picture. That's it. And since I'm the main photographer in the family, there exist only a few pictures of me, and so I couldn't.
You were never there.
That's typical PowerPoint.